Hello students, today we will be studying about active transport. Active transport is the movement of molecules across the membrane from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration. Till now, in the process of osmosis and diffusion, we have been studying that the movement is from higher concentration to the lower concentration. But this active transport is against the concentration gradient, and the movement is taking place from the region of lower concentration to the higher concentration. How is this possible? This is possible by utilizing the energy in the form of ATP. As you can see in this diagram, the movement is from lower concentration to the higher concentration across the membrane, in which energy is utilized. While if we see the passive transport, in the process of passive transport, none of the energy is required, and the examples of passive transport is osmosis and diffusion, in which the movement is from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Now we move on to the process of turgidity. A plant cell which cannot accommodate any more water is called turgid, and the condition is known as turgidity. A plant cell becomes turgid when it is kept in a hypotonic solution. In simple language, if we can say that the plant cell swells up due to the movement of water molecules when kept in hypotonic solution. Now, what is turgor pressure? The outward force in a plant cell when the vacuole is filled up with water. When the plant cell is completely filled up, plant cell vacuole is completely filled up with water, the cell membrane pushes against the cell wall due to the turgidity being maintained. This is known as turgor pressure. Here is the diagram depicting the turgor pressure in the plant cell. The water moves into the cell due to the osmotic concentration of the cell contents. So the water is moving with a great pressure, and once the water molecule has entered into the vacuole, it has maintained the turgidity, it has swelled up, and it is pushing against the this vacuole contents, the cytoplasmic content is now pushing against the cell wall. This is known as turgor pressure. So it is pushing against the cell wall. In order to neutralize this effect and maintain the shape of the plant cell, the cell wall is also exerting the pressure that is known as wall pressure. This wall pressure is applied by the cell wall to maintain the shape of the plant cell and to neutralize the effect of the turgidity being maintained in the plant cell. Now we move on to the importance of turgor pressure. Turgor pressure gives the plant their strength, means it helps in maintaining the stiffness of the plant. If the plant did not have this, they would be wilted. Wilted means they would get decayed. The plant that do not have wood, such as lettuce and house plants, they rely on turgor pressure for their strength. Now we move on to what is root pressure. The plant roots build up certain pressure that forces the water to move upward from root to the stem and then to the leaves. This root pressure is measured with the help of manometer. We'll be studying about this later on. First, let us know what is helping in maintaining this root pressure. So, turgor pressure in the root cell helps in building up this root pressure. So, this is the manometer which they have used up to measure the root pressure. So, this is a complete demonstration of root pressure. So, firstly, let us talk about how they have demonstrated. They have taken a plant and they have cut the stem of well-watered plant. Now they have attached the manometer to it. On one side of it, water is filled. On the other side, the manometer is completely filled with the mercury content. And we can see on the right hand side, this is the complete setup showing the difference. Now they have left this setup for some time and then they have seen that there is the rise in mercury level. The rise in mercury level is due to the movement of water molecules. This movement of water molecule has pushed the mercury level up, and this movement of water molecule is to it has taken place because of the root pressure which was maintained. The root pressure has led to the movement of water molecules from the root to the stem, and then further to the has lead to the further rise in the mercury level. Turgor pressure also helps in opening and closing of stomata. Stomata consists of two guard cells. These are the two guard cells, and the opening is known as stoma. So in the first diagram, we can see that the guard cells are swollen up. During the daytime, when the photosynthesis takes place, the food is prepared in the plant and the solute concentration, the mineral concentration is very high in the guard cells, which leads to the movement of water molecules within it. The movement of water molecules takes place from low solute concentration to the high solute concentration, and hence it leads to swelling up of guard cells and opening of the stomata, and the stoma region is also easily visible. So the movement of water molecules within the guard cells has led to opening of stomata, or as we can say the turgidity of the guard cell has led to opening of stomata during the daytime. During the night time, when there is loss of minerals, the minerals which are utilized, which was prepared in the process of photosynthesis, now there is low concentration and the water molecules is moving out now due to the low solute concentration towards a high solute concentration, and hence leading to the shrinkage of guard cells, and hence the stoma closes and the stomata closes during the night time. Hence, the flaccidity of guard cells has led to closing of stomata. So, Turgor pressure plays an important role in opening and closing of stomata. Now we move on to flaccidity. Flaccidity is just the reverse of turgidity. Just like if we have seen when we placed the plant cell in a hypotonic solution, it swelled up. Similarly, if we place the plant cell in a hypertonic solution, the cell contents shrink up, and the shrinkage of cell contents, the water lost from the cell vacuole leads to flaccid cell, and the process is known as flaccidity. So the shrinkage of plant cell due to the plant cell kept in the hypertonic solution is known as flaccidity. Now we move on to the topic plasmolysis. Plasmolysis is the shrinkage of cytoplasmic contents of a cell from its cell wall when placed in hypertonic solution. In this diagram, they have shown the entire process of plasmolysis. This is a normal plant cell which is turgid. Complete turgor pressure is being maintained here. And now when this is kept in a hypertonic solution, we have seen certain changes in it. We have seen that it has become flaccid. The cell contents are slowly and steadily moving away from the cell wall. Cell contents are moving away from the cell wall, and the condition arises that the cell contents have completely moved away from the cell wall. Now this plant cell is known as plasmolysed cell. There is a process of deplasmolysis, which is completely the process opposite of that of plasmolysis. When we keep the plasmolysed cell in a hypotonic solution. Now when we keep the same plasmolysed cell in a hypotonic solution, it becomes deplasmolysed. Means the cell contents which have completely shrinked up during the process of plasmolysis have regained their shape, their normal shape, when kept in hypotonic solution. This process is known as deplasmolysis. Thank you.